The world today is undergoing profound changes unseen in a century. Under the strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee, with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, socialism with Chinese characteristics enters a new era. So does the development of national defense and the military. In order to expound on China's defensive national defense policy in the new era, explain the practice, purposes, and significance of China's efforts to build a fortified national defense and a strong military, and help the international community better understand China's national defense, the Chinese government is issuing the white paper entitled China's National Defense in the New Era. Viewed globally, peace and development remain the call of the times. In light of the trends of the world, people of all countries, with their interests and security intertwined, are becoming members of a community with a shared future. However, growing hegemonism, power politics, unilateralism are coupled with constant regional conflicts and wars. The world is not yet a tranquil place. How the world chooses between multilateralism and unilateralism, cooperation and confrontation, win-win and zero-sum, is a crucial question bearing upon global development and the future of humanity. China has established Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era as the fundamental guidance, and embarked on the new journey of building a modernized socialist country in an all-round way. China's armed forces fully implement Xi Jinping's thinking on strengthening the military and thoroughly deliver on the military strategic guideline for a new era, blazing a trail of building the people's forces into world-class forces. China follows a path of peaceful development and unswervingly pursues a national defense policy that is defensive in nature, resolutely safeguarding China's sovereignty, security, and development interests is the fundamental goal of China's national defense in the new era. Never seeking hegemony, expansion, or sphere of influence is the distinctive feature of China's national defense in the new era. Implementing the military strategic guideline for a new era is the strategic direction for China's national defense in the new era. Continuing to strengthen the military in the Chinese way is the path forward for China's national defense in the new era. Contributing to the building of a community with a shared future for mankind is the global significance of China's national defense in the new era. The dream of the Chinese people is in alignment with that of other peoples. China's armed forces are committed to world peace and stability, and serving the noble cause of building a community with a shared future for mankind. China's armed forces in the new era will resolutely fulfill the tasks entrusted by the Communist Party of China and the people. They will strive to provide strategic support to consolidating the leadership of the CPC and the socialist system, safeguarding national sovereignty, unity, and territorial integrity, protecting China's overseas interests, and promoting world peace and development. China's armed forces firmly safeguard China's territorial sovereignty and maritime rights and interests. They maintain a rigorous guard against encroachment, infiltration, sabotage, and harassment, so as to safeguard border security and stability. They properly conduct border control and management, and protect maritime and air rights and interests, and take solid steps to strengthen military preparedness. The armed forces send a stern warning to the Taiwan independence separatist forces. China must and will be reunited. China has firm determination and strong power to resolve the Taiwan question and safeguard national unity. The PLA firmly takes combat effectiveness as the criterion for all their efforts, strengthens combat-oriented training, and continuously improves the military training under combat conditions. From the coast on the east to the desert on the northwest, from the misty southeast to the frozen north, and from the clouds high up to the oceans afar, all ranks of the Chinese military endeavor to step up military training with the greatest enthusiasm and dedication. The PLA unyieldingly protects the interests in major security areas, including nuclear, outer space, and cyberspace, to ensure national strategic security and maintain international strategic stability. As mandated by law, China's armed forces participate in maintaining social order, prevent and combat violence and terrorism, safeguard political security and social stability, and secure the public's rights to live and work in peace. The PLA actively participates in international security and military cooperation and conducts vessel protection, overseas evacuation, and maritime rights protection operations to protect overseas national interests. China's armed forces participate in disaster relief, emergency rescue, and medical relief operations. Their efforts have been widely praised across the country. The history of the People's Armed Forces is a history of reform and innovation. In the new era, China's armed forces resolutely act on the CMC Chairman Responsibility System, enhance the political loyalty, strengthen them through reform and technology, and run them in accordance with law. With a view to pushing forward defense and military modernization on all fronts, China endeavors to deepen defense and military reform in all respects and adopts the new military structure with a Central Military Commission exercising overall leadership, the theater commands responsible for military operations, and the services focusing on developing capabilities. The people's military has taken on a new look with new systems and structures. We reform to reshape the people's military, and we take solid steps towards a stronger military. In the new era, China's armed forces continue to put theoretical and political buildup at the top of its agenda. They are improving party conduct and upholding integrity. Notable achievements have been made in the fight against corruption in China's armed forces, and a healthy political atmosphere of integrity has formed. In the new era, China's national defense and military have realized historic transformation and development. Defense science and technology and military doctrines have advanced through innovation. Major backbone weaponry and equipment have witnessed leapfrog progress and entered into service. China strives for the coordinated development of national defense and economy, and appropriately decides on the size and composition of its defense expenditure. Among countries ranking high in defense expenditure in 2017, China's share of defense expenditure in GDP and government expenditure, as well as per capita defense spending, remain relatively low. In light of the need for safeguarding national sovereignty, security, and development interests, fulfilling international commitments as a big country, and the development of national defense, there is still a considerable shortage in China's defense expenditure. Hence, China's defense expenditure will maintain an appropriate and steady growth. China's military in the new era actively fulfills international responsibilities and contributes to the building of a community with a shared future for mankind. China actively develops constructive foreign military relations, takes part in multilateral dialogue and cooperation mechanisms, and pushes forward the building of new type security partnerships and regional security cooperation architectures. China advocates peaceful settlement of disputes over territory and maritime demarcation through negotiation and consultation. China is active in comprehensively and effectively implementing the Declaration on the Conduct of Parties in the South China Sea with ASEAN countries, and endeavors to make the South China Sea a sea of peace, friendship, and cooperation. The PLA makes active efforts to provide international public security goods. Being the largest troop-contributing country among the permanent members of the UN Security Council, China has participated in 24 UN peacekeeping missions, contributed more than 39,000 peacekeepers, and put into place a peacekeeping standby force of 8,000 troops. China has deployed naval task groups for vessel protection operations on a regular basis, and provided security protection for over 6,600 Chinese and foreign ships. The PLA is active in the international efforts for humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. The Chinese PLA Navy hospital ship, Ark Peace, has sailed across the world and brought benefits to over 230,000 people. The PLA has actively conducted international and regional counterterrorism cooperation. It strengthens international counterterrorism cooperation within the framework of Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and actively participates in multilateral counterterrorism mechanisms such as the APEC Counterterrorism Working Group and the Global Counterterrorism Forum. It is not a law of the history that a strong country is bound to seek hegemony. Peaceful development is in line with the trends of the times. As President Xi Jinping stated, China's development does not pose a threat to any other country. No matter what stage of development it reaches, China will never seek hegemony or engage in expansion. Since the founding of the People's Republic of China 70 years ago, China has never provoked any war or conflict. Since the reform and opening up, China has taken the initiative to streamline its military by 4 million. China contributes its efforts to safeguard world peace, contribute to global development, and uphold international order. China's armed forces remain a strategic support to national rejuvenation, a staunch force for world peace and stability, and a contributor for building a community with a shared future for mankind.